Good evening, visitors, and welcome to the Australian War Memorial's Last Post ceremony. My name is Dan Hiscock, and joining us today from the Royal Australian Navy is Warrant Officer Cherie Thiers. This evening, we warmly welcome the family of Flying Officer Alfred Campbell Briant, whose story will be told shortly. We also warmly welcome Group Captain Bruce Chandler, retired, representing the Air Force Association. As always, we welcome the veterans who have served, those still serving, and the families that love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Return and Services League of Australia and the RSL and Service Clubs Association. And we welcome those members who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the pool of reflection by family, visitors to the memorial, and students on behalf of Blackwood High School from Eden Hills, South Australia. If you're able, please stand and join in singing the National Anthem. If you wish to and you're able, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we will read just one of the stories behind those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the pool of reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Flying Officer Alfred Campbell Briant. Alfred Briant was born in Ballarat, Victoria on the 24th of May 1923, the son of Leslie and Gladys Briant. He grew up alongside his brother Leslie in Melbourne, where he attended Camberwell Primary School and the Scotch College, going on to work as a clerk at the Commonwealth Bank. In August 1941, not long after turning 18, Alfred Briant enlisted in the Royal Australian Air Force Reserve, a first step on the road to joining the Royal Australian Air Force. He was called up not long afterwards, and on the 31st of January 1942, at the age of 18, he enlisted in the RAAF at Melbourne. After initial training, he began training as a pilot, first at the No. 11 Elementary Flying Training School at Benalla, and then at the No. 1 Service Flying Training School at Point Cook. On the 6th of March 1943, Briant embarked at Melbourne, bound for overseas service. As part of the Empire Air Training Scheme, he was one of almost 27,500 RAAF pilots, navigators, wireless operators, air gunners and flight engineers who, throughout the course of the war, joined the Royal Air Force squadrons or Australian squadrons based in Britain. After arriving in the United Kingdom, Briant continued training. He was promoted to flying officer in August 1943, and the following month was posted to the No. 54 Operational Training Unit, which trained night fighter crews. In late December, Briant transferred to the No. 456 Squadron, the Royal Australian Air Force's only dedicated night fighter squadron during the Second World War. Based at Fairwood Common in South Wales, the squadron mounted patrols in support of Bomber Command's operations over Germany. In January, Briant was again transferred, this time to the No. 151 Squadron, Royal Air Force, based at RAF Station Pendranock in Cornwall, which flew twin-engine de Havilland Mosquitoes. On the 23rd of June 1944, Briant was the pilot of one of two Mosquitoes detailed to attack the railway station at La Flèche in France. About 1 p.m, some wagons were seen at La Flèche and Briant went to attack them. As other aircraft turned to join the attack, it saw anti-aircraft fire. Emitting smoke, Briant's navigator reported that they had been hit and that the starboard engine had stopped. He reported that they were going home, and shortly after that they were losing height. The aircraft accompanying him saw Briant's aircraft crash, burning severely. An inquiry team later reported that the aircraft was hit by ACAC and crashed near the village of Bazouges-sur-Loire on the 23rd of June. Flying Officer Alfred Campbell Briant and his navigator, Flying Officer James Joseph Battle, were both killed. Alfred Briant was 21 years old. Today, his remains are in La Flèche Communal Cemetery, France, under the inscription chosen by his grieving family, in proud and loving memory of our gallant son. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my left, among almost 40,000 Australians who died while serving in the Second World War. His photograph is displayed today by the Pool of Reflection. This is but one of many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Flying Officer Alfred Campbell Briant, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope for a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning we will remember them.
We will remember them.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We'll leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozières or in the low scrub of Gallipoli with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain has thought in his last moments, well, it's over, but in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of the director, staff and volunteers, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today and for your continued support of the Memorial's development project. We wish you all a very pleasant evening. Thank you.